Alright, good day everybody, welcome to the stream. For some reason the viewer counter is not working. I don't know why, but the chat seems to be showing up. So I guess that's what matters most. So we're not gonna do any restarting shenanigans. Yeah, this is the first flight of the spaceship, the laser slab hauler, a kind of oversized solar panel ship which destroys asteroids with lasers at a low tech level. It is the first flight at laser damage 3 complete, and we're in the process of researching laser damage 4, which should do wonders. Well, not quite wonders, but it should help a little bit. 34 laser damage per shot instead of 28. I think it is 6 damage per level at this time. Which means we should be able to fly a little bit faster now, instead of the measly 15 kilometers a second where the pump is currently set at. But we're not gonna adjust that until we also have laser damage 4. We'll just find the balance once. Slow and steady wins the race, especially when nobody else is competing. I suppose that is what they say. Hey Ben the Fish, thanks for the 8 months. Free Prime sub from a free Prime trial. Double stealing, heck yeah. You see the viewer count? I don't see it. It's not on the overlay at least. Maybe you can still see it somewhere, but I don't see it on the overlay. Is it on the overlay for you? I guess I should be able to see it myself. It doesn't seem to be on there. Right. No matter. Details which don't matter. Right. So what are we gonna do today? Well, the title kind of gives it away. I want to get at least some rudimentary form of yellow signs get set up before we leave for Vulcanus, so we can continue researching technologies while we do the giant project of setting up signs on Vulcanus, which we cannot even start immediately yet because all the territory still belongs to demolishers, and we haven't got a clue what is on the planet except for in our starting area. So there is a lot of things to do. Which means we're gonna run out of stuff to research, especially now that I kinda prematurely doubled research, I suppose. There's not a lot of technologies I really want to research at the moment, which don't either require yellow signs on the way to artillery, which is also yellow signs, or Vulcan signs by itself. There's a bunch of good Vulcan signs techs. But like mentioned, it's gonna take quite a while to get Vulcan signs set up properly. So if we could set up some quick and dirty yellow signs, we can research things like military 4, the power armor for 400k, better bot speed. That would be extremely welcome. Like 2 levels of bot speed. That would be huge for just for ourselves, for the quality of life kind of stuff. So we won't run out of stuff to research if we go for yellow signs. We also have the ability to unlock nuclear signs now. At the very end of the last episode, we did manage to mine a single piece of uranium, which is now proudly setting into this chest. We did it with a rare barrel of sulfuric acid, of course, because why not? So we might also start mining some uranium in some form. We'll see, we've got a lot of things to do. I think we're gonna just not rush getting to Vulcanus and setting up Norvis properly. Belt immunity equipment, I never really use that one. "69 viewers on YouTube, alright." Right, I gotta catch my bearings. I did a little bit of mining off cam. I suppose you always do a little bit of mining off cam in Factorio, as the mining patches will continue, if I can find one which is active, like this one. They will continue to mine regardless of what you're doing. Again, just like the other time, I basically just cleaned up the garbage chests. Let me read the notes real quick. I updated the to-do list, so that is this list over here. I added some stuff, just formatted a little bit, and reordered the order and the things, and the order we're likely gonna do it. We're not gonna do the full yellow signs 2k SPM, but we're gonna set up a little bit for that, and that requires a couple. Together with the Vulcanus prep, that requires a little bit of extra steps there. There's also the question here of if we should reactivate Fulgora before going to Vulcanus or after to make more modules. Kind of depends on how it goes. I've got something in mind. I did work on setting up like some crude yellow signs parts, which, similar to this temporary red shop setup, will involve quality modules, which means we're going to get a lot of quality blue chips and robot frames on Norvies, which is great because we can use those to make more modules if we are short on them. But then again, I kind of made this Fulgoran build over here specifically to make modules out of scrap. So we'll see how it goes. It will kind of fall into place, I think, once we progress. Okay, let's switch back to the list. What else is in my notes? Oh yeah, that yellow, and the thing is, I wanted to go to Vulcanus first originally, but I need to re-enable low density structures and blue chips anyway, so we can keep launching rockets and keep bringing in calcite, because we will run out of blue chips and low density structures. We've already run out on Norvies. This is empty, I think, or about to be empty. 1.6k low densities left over, so either we import those from Fulgora to Norvies as well, so we can keep launching up rocket fuel to Vulcanus. Yes, I know it is a mistake to do it this way, but I would have been better off if I set up blue chip. If I would have sent plastics over and set up blue chips and low densities on Vulcanus directly. I kind of didn't think it would take me this long to get back there, but we did, so now we have to live with it for a bit. Which means we need to start producing low density structures and blue chips again. But since those are 2 of the 3 ingredients for yellow signs already, we're gonna do like a small quarter-sized yellow signs build with a little bit overbuilt blue chips and low density structures, which we can then feed into the rocket area. That kind of seems the best way to go forward then, and it also nets us the bonus of being able to research more stuff. Alright, Edmar, good luck recovering. Why don't you bring rocket fuel from Fulgora? It's basically free there. Yeah, but I didn't set it up. I did not set it up properly either. So nothing is really automated. Rocket fuel is free on Norvies as well. It's just the launching up which is the issue. And we're already using our blue chips and low density structures from here. We've got 12k left of boat to boat launch these things up the spaceship, and we use them on Vulcanus to launch back the calcite. So this is gonna run out in between 4, 5, 6 flights, something like that, and that's gonna run out as well. So I would rather just start enabling that on Norvies again. I do have plans for this, especially once we start the science part. We're probably going to use the byproducts here to make rocket parts for Gleba instead. But that is after we've got the science over here. So currently nothing is working on Fulgora, so we are not actively producing this. This is just a stashed buffer from when it was working once upon a time. So we will have to get something up anyway. Alright. Was that all for my notes? I'm trying to just quickly read through the notes. Ah yeah, I did expand... I did quickly make some tanks to keep oil flowing. It's getting a little out of hand. Added another 200 tanks or so on this side. There are... Basically, if I add a full set of 100 tanks, it's still gonna look full because we've got so many at this point. But there is good news. The good news is these petroleum gas tanks are now emptying out, which means we are using more petroleum gas than we are producing for the very first time, which means we need to... That's one of the first things we're gonna do. We need to remodule the refineries here to make them work faster. Either that or build more of them, but I think we're just gonna solve it with some quick remodeling. Sacrifice a bit of productivity for some speed, and then we can keep up with petroleum gas production again, and we will eat up oil faster. I think one of the other things I want to do if we're going on oil anyway is I want to upgrade these beacons to rare, and perhaps if we've got enough speed modules, we'll upgrade these to like uncommon Mark II speed modules. Because we're at the era where the balance is shifting. I know it looks stupid, I just expanded oil and now I want to make more of it with more speed modules, but we're at the point where we're at the turnaround point where we're starting to consume more oil than we are producing. It took a couple hundred hours. So we've got like 50 million oil stored in these tanks by now, but that is gonna slowly drain out, so we might as well speed it up as well. That's it's also in my to-do list actually, so that's good. Alright, that's all that has been going on off cam. So I suppose we're gonna get started. I did not ignore the hydrate. I did ignore the hydrate, but not the get up and stretch. I did some stretching right before I started. Hey Obsolete, how's your hopes for the Pyrrhic victory against me reaching the solar system edge? It's kind of gonna depend. I'm not really sure. If we go mega base, we might just not focus on getting to the solar system edge and officially quote-unquote beating the game, because then there will be other priorities. It's not important to get to the solar system edge for progress really, until you want Prometheum signs, which is only after you do a lot of other stuff which does not require just getting to the solar system edge. So that could be a couple hundred hours of difference, I suppose. To reach it before Christmas. Ooh, I'm kinda hoping I will be done with this playthrough at the end of the year either, so let's have an unofficial gentleman's race to the end. Right. Let's go. End of stream save. This is a glimpse of the yellow signs build I've been cobbling together. We'll get to this. I didn't make blueprints or anything, so we'll check this out once we are ready to build it. But first, let's do some base maintenance. Yeah, just a bit of a recap. Nothing else has been going on much yet. Right, nice. Starting with an organized inventory, no garbage and chests everywhere. It is good to do a little bit of cleanup between the streams. Alright, so what do I need? Let's check out how many pump jacks do we have in general. 104. I know there's about like 15 or so which are efficiency module, because those are not infinitely depleted oil sources yet. That one is over here. So we don't need to beacon or module this one. This one is fine. It's inactive, it's just there for when oil drops below 6k per tank, which is not gonna happen in the next 10 streams, I don't think, but who knows? Who knows how quickly this gets depleted? I mean, it's 2.1k tanks for 1000 times science cost. So all of this basically equates 2 tanks worth of oil storage at 1k at 1 times science cost. It doesn't exactly work like that, but it's close enough. Alright. So we have like 90 of those. Let's pretend it's 100. What kind of modules do we have available? These are finished. These we have a lot of. So I think we'll upgrade from these, which we currently have in there, to the Uncommon Mark II. With 100 palm jacks, it should be 200 modules. And then we probably got to upgrade the beacons maybe as well. Actually not sure. Let's just give it a quick test in editor mode because I don't want to run out there. And maybe we'll just take the modules as well. Let's take some of these. We'll take some rare beacons. If it's 100 palm jacks, it cannot be more than 100 beacons. Probably much less. There's some beacons here as well. There's 40 uncommon beacons, so we want to upgrade these to rare now as well. Since at this point in time we've got infinite rare beacons. So that's another 40. Probably we'll just switch out efficiency for speed. Sorry, one productivity module for speed. So we might have to do something with these modules in here as well. We'll see. Let's take some more of these. We'll take all of these. These. I don't think we'll be needing those. More of those. Just so we can like mix and match a little. Probably not gonna spend productivity of this magnitude on oil. That's too much. This will do just fine. Alright. I think the first thing we'll do is remodule the oil refining. Alright, see you later, sheep. If I can get through here still, now that I'm starting to like really close this up with all kinds of builds. Right, so currently we are running at minus 80% energy consumption, which I would like to keep that way or pretty close to it. It's not absolutely important since we've got Biter Zoos absorbing pollution, and we did just double power, or at least the solar part of it, not the accumulator part. But yeah, we did not double accumulators just yet, so not really sure. I think we're going to still care about power usage a little. Basically, what I want to do is throw a speed module in there. It brings us from 27 oil to 41 oil, which is basically like 1.5 times as fast, I think. Alright, so we are producing 37k oil, consuming 32, but we are not generating enough petroleum gas. And we're gonna set up yellow signs, so that's gonna eat up even more petroleum gas. And we're gonna export plastics to Vulcanus, so that's gonna eat up even more petroleum gas. This buffer might go quicker than I think it will. But it looks like if I just do 1.5 times for now, that is going to be good enough. Maybe once we've got yellow signs, we'll also design a new fully beaconed oil setup, similar to something like this basically, where it's maximum beaconed. Now I just want to have a quick fix kind of thing. It's at minus 68% energy usage now, which is alright. But I suppose we also want to upgrade to rare beacons. And we're back to minus 80. How close are we? They're still minus 80. Minus 69. Alright, so technically we can take out half of these. I don't think I'm really gonna bother. It's temporary anyway. Let's just upgrade some modules in here. I built this like 4-way symmetric, so I gotta be a bit careful with pasting that, or I mess up the entire liquids per pipe. I suppose the same goes. I need to increase the speed of these as well then, to keep up with oil cracking. Right, so that's the first step then. Let's see if it works. Look at me making saves for editing Mike already. Oil processing module 150% speed, something like that. Approximately. I don't want to put the Mark II productivity modules in here. I've got a limited amount of those. I still got yellow signs to build. And I'm not really that tight for oil just yet. So I don't think that's worth it. That's a lot of modules in here, man. There's over 50 buildings, so that's over 100 Mark III or Mark II productivity modules of the rare kind. Alright, we should be able to see that basically instantly with fluids. Right, so now we're producing from 41k, we're producing 58k or so. So we are now overproducing petroleum gas, which means these tanks will fill up again after some time. I suppose currently we are consuming more oil then as well. And from 42k to 58k while producing 49k. So that's good. At least we are temporarily eating up more oil than we are producing. We're over here, so I suppose the first remodule of the oil itself is gonna be a big circle we'll have to walk. How I number my saves, I usually go to the next number. I already passed my oil. There's some ABC stuff going on as well, if it's like part of something very similar. I think we'll make an upgrade planner for here. Upgrading the beacons. We are now running at minus 63% energy consumption and pollution. Pollution is important because some of these oil sources are located close to biters. Okay, let's first increase speed. Let's see what we're doing right now. 4.72. 5.12. So producing 40 oil extra. Sorry, 0.4 per second extra. It's not that big of a... Not that big of a jump, from 4.72 to 5.12. 164, 178. It's like a 8.5% speed increase. Right, that difference is not that big indeed. But we have a lot of these modules. I think we're gonna use them. We can use these to make rare Mark III speed modules straight up, basically. So these might be more valuable to reclaim, and then just spend a couple of these. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. Now we are running at minus 43%. With the rare beacon, minus 62. Minus 70. Minus 77. Alright, that's pretty good. That's almost minimum. Minimum is minus 80. So we're doing 2.3 pollution a minute instead of 2 pollution a minute, I think. Yeah, like this is 2 pollution a minute, but I'm not willing to invest rare modules in this, so this is how it's going to be. Which modules were in here? It was rare speed. So that's going to upgrade to this one. And then the modules in the beacon, which are these, are going to upgrade to these. And that is what we're going to do on all the oil fields. This is still part of the oil processing, so pump jack. If I go into editor mode or I do some off-cam, I'll add some A's and B's as well. Editor has capital editor in there. In general, there's not really such a very well thought out system, but I try to distinguish a bit. Instead of just numbering up. Give me a clue what's going on. Alright, that's oil field 1. Curious to see what's gonna happen to oil production. So basically 37k flat. 37k flat. That is gonna go up ever so slightly. Very, very slightly, looks like. Okay, we don't need to pay attention to every single individual pump jack and beacon, because we already know that we already puzzled that out when we initially placed them. We just now need to upgrade the beacons. Would it be better to use trains if you were on peaceful mode? Probably. I know a lot of people find trains more easy to use than building massive belts like these. But yeah, for me, because I'm not playing on peaceful and with the biter expansion and stuff, for me it very much matters in which chunk stuff is built. And belts are a lot easier to maneuver around tight corners than a train network is. So a train network would basically sacrifice a lot more of these chunks. It also requires a boatload of space to offload the trains in the base again, whereas a belt is just a belt. Ship barreled heavy oil from Fulgora to Vulcanus for science. How many barrels can you stack anyway? 200 on a rocket? Yeah, that sounds not great. I haven't actually given it any thought though, so just because it sounds dumb at first glance, it doesn't mean it's actually dumb. I didn't upgrade the refinery beacons. Alright. We'll save that for the end then. That basically will cost me a bit of pollution, but that's fine. I mean, it's not like biter evolution is gonna go up much further anyway. All these obsolete bells, they're not obsolete, they're gonna bring ore into the base, maybe today even actually. And maybe we'll just connect this to here and then the bells will be flowing full of ore instead of the plates full of for the furnaces. Filled heavy oil barrels have a capacity of 100, alright. That's because filled barrels are more heavy than empty barrels, I suppose. Very thematic, Factorio dev team. Sometimes they really care about that stuff, but other times everything goes. So what would be the benefit of shipping heavy oil to Vulcanus? Rare barrels do not carry more liquid. I know that for a fact because I tested that last stream. Because we mined 1 uranium ore, that of course had to be done. I'm not even gonna do this myself. I got bots for a reason. Oh yeah, that's everything in the north, I think. So now we can go back to over here. Here. Let's have an arrow on the screen for this one. Save on coal. Alright, I think saving on coal by sending in plastics from Norvis is gonna be enough for me. I think the expensive part of Vulcanus is making petroleum gas, I think. Because you can crack the making rocket fuel in Vulcanus is not that bad. But petroleum gas is kinda expensive, especially with that simple coal liquefaction recipe, I suppose. And making sulfuric acid on Vulcanus is just the worst. You start with sulfur. No, making sulfur is the worst. You start with sulfuric acid, but to get to sulfur, you need to start with coal, heavy oil, simple coal liquefaction, cracking it all the way back down to petroleum gas, and then you can make sulfur after you also neutralize some acid. Basically delete the sulfur from the sulfuric acid to make steam again. And condense that into water to make sulfur. It's the most horrible process. Hey, thanks as a Hobbit for the raid with the legendary number of people. Nice. How's it going? Are you still working on the mega base or are you on some other project now? I saw some YouTube videos about like some thumbnails pop by from the with mega base subject. Working on a speedrun base. Oh, that's quite different. Welcome everybody. We are doing 1000 times science cost multiplier. So my base, which kinda can be considered a mega base in old Factorio 1.1 standards, is running that's basically 2 science per minute. We're doing 2 science per minute. And with that it takes 2 hours to research half of a technology, kind of a mid-game technology. We recently updated all the science packs to 2K SPM, finally starting to incorporate some beacons. Today we're working on getting yellow science, as well as preparing for Vulcanus, because even at 2 science per minute, building infrastructure takes so much time that we are literally running out of things, at least out of useful things to research. So yeah, I don't know how it's possible, but I cannot keep up with this giant tech pace of 2 science per minute, and I need to hurry up so I don't run out of stuff to research. Alright, so now, well, basically we have we modeled up oil with efficiency and speed earlier on, but now we've got Mark II modules and a good supply of them. Of course, not automated. I mean, you know how it goes. But we've got a good supply, and we are updating oil production in preparation of yellow science, because I'm almost out of oil. I've only got like 50 million oil stored, which we earlier deduced was approximately 2 tanks worth of oil for one time science cost per minute. One time science cost multiplier. If you ever did 1000 times, it would be with full community invited. I would suggest, oh, wait, I forget, I'm not completely safe yet. Where am I going? I'm going over here. I would recommend, first of all, either switching off biter expansion or playing on peaceful mode. Right, I forgot there were some Johnnies alive here still. We've got a thing going on where we are not killing isolated worms. I would also suggest just starting, if you're playing like on a peaceful-ish setting anyway, start with a power armor and some bots. That makes it a lot less painful, and then you get to do the fun part, and you can skip the suffering part, which we are doing. Okay, looks like I'm exactly out of range. Okay, bot is still flying out. The bot is not out of range. Okay, bot does not fly out with repair packs. I stow my repair packs away in here, so the construction bots cannot get themselves obliterated. I think we're gonna need a distraction turret for this one. An unpowered one. So the bots can upgrade this without getting targeted. Alright. Thank you. I'll have that back now. Alright, and then we have one more oil source, I think. Is this one all the way down here? I am gonna go down there as well. So we need to walk back a bit. Back a lot, basically. 1000 times that world with 100 people. I don't think it's... of course you can manipulate some other settings, but on like the standard that world settings, I don't think 1000 times science cost is possible. Even if you... it might be possible if biter expansion is switched off. Because then you have access to a lot more ore patches. Can I walk through here? It's kind of dangerous to read chat while walking out here in not my territory. Handicapping yourself by being shit at things. Alright. Valid. Last upgrade. And we'll see if we'll actually... We should be producing 8% more oil now, but more importantly we're outputting less pollution and the beacons are upgraded to rare. So we use less beacon power overall. I guess it went up, but not if you... If you look at the total beacons merged, we now use 2 megawatts less. Yeah, that is the kinda the stuff I waste my time on apparently. I think it looks like that oil beacon and module upgrade is not gonna be that much. But then again, all those oil sources we just upgraded are completely depleted, and they now work 8% faster than they were working before the upgrade. So I mean, 8% free oil, basically 2 productivity modules for free. Is there any way through here? Maybe on this side. I think the problem with that world is you get to big biters way too fast. Especially if you destroy all the nests, that is gonna bump the evolution way up, and there is just a lot more nests on that world as well. And all the nests that do exist, they are bigger. This is the famous cliff of death. I keep walking into that thing. It's a very long cliff. It used to be very annoying in the early game, because I was walking at this speed, and this cliff is just terrible. But now we've got a running armor, it's slightly less sad. You might see there's not a lot of stuff moving in my base. That is because we upgraded to Vulcan buildings not too long ago. So we are running on calcite powered foundries right now. Which means we are basically using 1/10 of the ore that we were previously doing, combined with the calcite foundries, productivity modules, and then of course now we've got EM plans as well to do some stuff. Which basically means our resource demand got way lower. I'm gonna run the entire 2k SPM base on 8 belts of iron and 8 belts of copper red belts. And that should be enough to do 2k SPM of red, green, blue and yellow signs. Whereas, just for context, I built a mega base in Factorio 1.1 and yellow signs by itself required something like... I don't quite remember, but one SPM, I think it's... it will be like... I really don't remember. Between 75 and 150 belts of resources. I don't remember if it was red or blue. Just for yellow signs. And now we're just gonna run on 16, including yellow signs and all the rest of it as well. It's incredible. Alright, first project done. Oil has been rebeaconed. I think that we can give ourselves one of those feel-good moments. But I'm first gonna throw away all my garbage. Alright. We do have bots to sort out the modules. I can just throw them in the trash. I don't have a full logistics network set up because I like to abuse my trash slots. But also I did not build a full bot mall yet. Or any mall for that matter. Yeah, I played 341 hours. Sorry, 348 hours without a mall. It's going well, but maybe there's a hidden reason behind why I cannot keep up with 2 signs per minute. Some say. Alright, that is one project done. No, not done. We forgot to do the oil beaconing, no? I know, we were just gonna leave it at this, I think. Yeah, we were gonna leave it at that, but we will upgrade to the rare beacons, since we've got basically infinite of those. That was not included in here. Let's delete this. We can still use the upgrade planner for the oil beacon upgrade. I'm gonna try to build as much as possible with underground pipes. Alright, now we went up from 2 megawatts to 3 megawatts saving probably, now that we upgraded these 40 beacons as well. 80 kilowatts times 40. That is 3 megawatts by itself, is it not? On 31 megawatts, 225. Okay, 6 megawatts saved. The real thing I'm interested in now is oil production. We went up to 40k. This was before... I think this was before I upgraded the tanks. We were running at 37k, now we're going at 40k. We're consuming oil at 50k for the moment, but as soon as petroleum gas tanks fill up, that's gonna slow down again. Hopefully we'll be like consuming slightly more than we produce, that would be ideal. Hey Odium. Yeah, that's a lot of golden rockets. Thanks for the 19 full months, man, of expensive subscriptions. Thanks a bunch, as well as for moderating. I have a mall. It's just an on-demand mall. It produces things like rare barrels on demand. It's very efficient. You can see it's literally very efficient. You cannot deny my mall is very efficient. It says so on the assemblers themselves. Alright. So now we can give ourselves the check mark. Rebalance oil. Check mark. I guess we can get into the meat and potatoes of it all, the yellow sign stuff. Time for the big yellow signs project. Efficient, yes. Effective, not so much. It's working out for me pretty well, I must say. Especially now that we use a lot of quality things across the base. I find it just as easy to just produce a large amount of stuff and then just use that up. Now I've got bots available, so now we can properly do that, but doing that with belts, man, that would be a nightmare to set up. Especially with the 3 different qualities involved. Alright, what do we need to do for yellow signs? I think first of all we need to increase resource flow to the base. We currently got approximately... We're prioritizing iron from space. Let's call this like 2 red belts. And we got up to 4 red belts coming in. Is it actually 4? It's actually 4, but not for very long. So we might want to hook up some more iron as well. And we also need to bring in more copper for making yellow signs is pretty copper intensive, much more so than iron intensive. So we're going to need a bit more than the 2 belts of copper we're bringing in now, because that's already being spent mostly for making the blue signs. I think we're going to work on that first. We've got 16 rare miners left. We can produce 1 red belt per 3 miners. That's basically 5 red belts of rare mining drill capacity, which we still have. We've got some uncommon ones as well. I don't think we have any more on the spaceship. Spaceship is being loaded with calcite again. Ah, we do have 20 more on the spaceship. I think we're going to be using those on Northeast once the ship gets back. We got an F. F, rip. Looks like it might be back up. Doesn't have no counter though. Trying to catch up now, right? It did not fully die then. Twitch is still in the same session. YouTube is still up, but yeah. Pixelmania. YouTube is a little bit behind now. No, it's not looking good. Let's see if it goes away. Needs bitrate anyway when you got byte rate. Maybe invest in Starlink. I definitely can warrant already investing in Starlink. I don't need a separate incentive or something to do that. But with all the developments which have been going on lately, I'm not really sure I want to be supporting the CEO. Things are getting a bit out of hand. Things are getting a bit out of hand everywhere, aren't they? Bitrate is not recovering just yet. Normally it doesn't take this long. Or maybe upload speed is just slow because it's a static image. I'll just try doing something. Is it coming back? No, it's dying completely. Don't go away. Right, I did just save, right? So. Hey Vita, thanks. Thanks for the 100 bits. Sorry for the bitrate quality, everybody. It's kinda annoying. I might try to just restart the stream on a different network and see if that works out better. Right before starting the stream, internet fell away completely for a bit. So there might just be some issues today. I hope it doesn't persist. Feels stable again on Twitch. The upload speed is horrible. Like less than a megabit a second. Megabit a second. It should be 6. It doesn't even jump up and down. It's just horrible, consistently horrible. What's your internet situation? It should be... Normally when I do a speed test and stuff, it has like 60 megabits of upload speed and 80 megabits of download speed, something like that. More than 10 times what I need to stream. But the annoying part is the consistency issues, right? So it doesn't look like it's improving much. How is the quality? Is it alright, or is it... do we need to send you more bits? No. 1.6k second. No, don't do that. How is it looking? Is it still bad? If it's still bad, I will just restart the stream with a different network. Just walking around a bit to force some changes. It does not want to go up. Yeah, it's awful. Alright. I'll just restart then. It's annoying.